What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over a simple topic, and that is how to write up your purchase agreement and your assignment contract. I'm just going to be going over the key details that you need to include into these agreements. I'm just going to go over a quick overview on how to do that. That way you guys are confident when sending out these agreements. Alright, so let's get into it. This is the purchase agreement that we use at our company. First, you want to go and include the day that you are getting your agreement signed on. You want to include the day, the month, the year, and then it's going to go by in between. The seller goes first, so you want to include the full seller name. This is something that you can go and find, whether it's an MLS or if you have PropStream, you can go search it up there. And then you're going to want to go and include whether it's your name or your LLC. You want to include that here. You always want to make sure if you're not buying this property for yourself, or if you're not going to take this down yourself, you want to make sure that you include and/or assigns. This allows you to go and assign this property to an end buyer, and this needs to be in every contract with the seller that you are going to go and wholesale. So make sure that you have the and/or assigns. You're going to have the property address, city, state, zip, and we're going to go down here. So in the purchase price, you want to make sure that you want to include the purchase price here written in numerical order, and then you want to go and type it out in letters what that exact price is. So for example, if we're getting our property at $140,000, you want to go and write it out, and then right here where it's in parentheses, you want to put 140,000. That way it's clear, and then you want to go and include it again. You want to make sure that you include the earnest money deposit that you had agreed on previously with the seller. We typically like to have it around $250. So for this one, we'll write it $250. You want to make sure all these terms are usually the same. The only thing that you really go and change is the closing date, and that's just specific to the seller. So if you guys agree on, if a certain date, you want to make sure you go and include a certain date. So typically we'll leave it at 30 business days. That allows us to have some time to, go and shop the property. But let's say that they want to close on March 25th, 2021. You want to make sure that you include or sooner after the date of ratification. That the only thing that means is that it's just allowing you to close before the date of close. Ratification is just that date of close. So right here we have a section for other terms. That's in the case that you need to write either a specific contingency period, or the seller just has specific terms that you need to go and write about. This is where the signatures are going to be. You want to make sure you include the date. So the buyer, which is us, will go and sign here. We'll include the date. We have two sections for the sellers. In the case that there's two sellers, but if there's just one, you just want to include the one signature and the date, and then you want to include the initials. So as far as purchase agreement, it's as simple as that. There's not much to it. Our agreement is only 2 pages long, which in my opinion is just more preferred with the sellers, just because most sellers do not want to go and read a 14-page agreement. They don't really know what they're getting themselves into. With this agreement, we're able to go and dive deep into every term, explain what it all means, and it takes little to no time. If you have any questions about these terms, you can definitely go and shoot me a message on Instagram, but these are just typical purchase contract terms that are included in every agreement. So that's it for the purchase agreement. Make sure that you guys are searching up all the correct information, whether it's the seller name, the exact address, and then obviously your buyer name. You want to check spelling a couple times to make sure you're not sending anything wrong. Because if you're dealing with like a red personality, then if there's a mistake in there, they're just gonna kind of be hesitant to sign. They'll tell you to redo it. Gives them that option to just not sign the contract. So you want to make sure you have everything correct the first time. That way you are able to just bang bang knock things out and just go and move forward on it. So this is the agreement that you are going to send to the title company to open escrow. I'm going to get into the assignment contract and how to write that up. So once you go and open escrow, you get clear title, you are able to go and assign the property to an end buyer. All right, guys, so here we have the assignment contract. The assigner, you just want to know exactly what these terms mean. So the assigner is going to be you, and the assignee is going to be whoever you're selling it to. So this is where you want to include whether it's your name or LLC. You want to include the property street name, not the entire address. And then you want to include the city of, or whatever city you're buying the property in. And also the state, you want to include the state and then the zip code. And then it says to assignee. So whatever the buyer's entity is, whether he's buying it under his LLC or his personal name, you want to include that there. And then you just want to make sure that you're paying attention to all the details. So right here it says assignor. has negotiated the price. So that's going to be you. So you have negotiated the price. This is just an example that we had for our most recent wholesale deal. This is where you want to include the price that you picked up the property at. So this is the price that is stated on your purchase agreement. You're saying that you are negotiating the purchase price, which is $75,000, and adding an assignment fee of $45,000, which that's what's going to be paid out to you. And the assignees, which is the buyer, is purchasing the property at a total of $120,000. You want to make sure that you have those numbers correct, because obviously you want to make sure that you are getting paid the correct amount. These are terms that you obviously had agreed on previous to sending out this assignment. So you want to make sure that you have all these terms down with the buyer. I did make a video on how to communicate with these cash buyers and what information you're going to need in order to fill out this specific assignment. So you want to make sure that you get their LLC, the price that they're buying the property at, and just some further information that I'll get into. All right, so right here, as I mentioned, this is the price that the buyer is going to be purchasing at, so $120,000. So right here, this is another thing that you want to make sure that you include. This is how you're going to get refunded your initial earnest money deposit that you had with the seller when you open the escrow. You want to make sure you have the same amount that you put on the purchase agreement. So in this case, our example, we used $250, so you want to make sure you change that to $250. And then you want to make sure that you include the closing date right here that you agreed on with the buyer. Scroll down. All these terms are pretty self-explanatory. This section right here is where you will rewrite your assignment fee. You want to make sure that you disclose this information so they know exactly how much to pay you. Right here, we're going to go to the earnest section. This is the earnest money deposit that the end buyer will be dropping. For this property, we had $5,000. And then you want to go and include that this earnest money deposit will be sent to the title company, whatever the title company's name is that you opened escrow with. You want to make sure you put their location. And then again, if the assignee fails to close, then the assignee is to forfeit EMD to assignor, which is us. Obviously, we don't want it to come to that, but if in the case that it does and they're not willing to perform on their end due to it being their fault, then they have no other choice. And then other terms, this is just anything that you and the buyer agree on. Typically, we don't have to write anything in this section. Everything's kind of straightforward. You want to go and include the assignor's signature, which is you, the date, the assignee, which is the end buyer. Keep in mind that when you are writing these assignment contracts, that they are agreeing to all the terms that are in your purchase agreement. With that being said, guys, if you haven't seen my last video, I did promote a giveaway that I'm going to be doing once I reach 200 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I'm going to include the instructions below in the description, so make sure you don't miss that out. So that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this video if you want to see more. Have a great one, guys.